So we will be looking at the question from 26th of April, the question 1 being stock prices, um, where you will be given days of values in an array for stock prices, and then you will have to find the number of consecutive days where the stock price was less before than the given day. Right. So hi, let's get to it. So here we are. If you didn't get the question in one go, I'll go it at again. There will be an array where you will be given stock prices of consecutive days. That, for example, this input 6 is the number of days, and there will be 6 values for each consecutive day. For a given day, you will have to find the number of consecutive days where the stock value is less than the current day. So this is easy as that. Let's get to it. Let's start with fetching the inputs, and you will get in. We'll get the input as integer first, and they will store it in a normal variable n. One thing for you to notice that you don't have to be really, use big and large variables and those kind of things, because your program is just basically on clearing test cases. So use the smaller variables that you use, it'll be easier for you to finish. If you're a good coder and you have lots of practice, you can do whatever you're comfortable with. So here we are. Now we'll first fetch the inputs. Since they will the input will be given, the first line of the input was the number of items in the array. We have got that, and now we'll be going into fetching the items in a list. I have named that list as q. I'm using Python Jupyter Notebook so that it will be easier to practice, and this is really easy to run codes and all, and to refer the differences as well. So I would suggest, if you're practicing, Python Notebook, Jupyter Notebook is amazing. So here we have obtained the inputs, and I have printed there. Now let's go on to the main logic. All right. Now, this is fairly a simple question, but we'll be going through the basic. I will be, talking you through the code in such a way, so that even because so many of the people, are starting with Python just for the sake of DSA, and there's nothing wrong in that. Everyone has, an unequal opportunity, so we can do that. So we'll be initializing an R list for the result, and now let's traverse our input, that is the q, and we will be finding from the current day the consecutive days which have a lesser value stock prices, and we will be incrementing count variable for that. All right. So instead of going from the first, I started doing this logic from the back, so from the end of the loop. So that's why you can see a range of n minus 1, and then minus 1 comma minus 1. If you want, you try that in your own code, for and print and see the values, what happens exactly at that point. Right. Basically what it will do is, it instead of going from 100, 60, 70, 65, it will start iterating from 85, 80, 60, and all the way to 100. So I'll first take the current day value of the stock price in as a variable m, and then we'll have that count of the consecutive days in C, and I'm taking initializing it as 0. Now we'll go with another for loop inside this, where I'll be iterating through I, just through I, using the variable j. So now here is the main logic, where I'll be checking if the current element, that is m, that is the current day stock value, is, if it happens to be less than any other previous day's stock value, then just stop the execution of the loop. That's what the understood logic was. All right. And if not, if it continues to be greater, then I'll increment it, because those are the days where the stock price value is less, so plus 1 in C. All right. And now we'll go ahead, and outside this loop we will append it to the result list. All right. So that the inner loop calculates all the count of the consecutive days, and the outer loop is for traversing each and every element of the list from the back. So when I'm appending it to the result list, actually there's one catch here. Since the loop was in I have traversed from back, the answer would be in reverse order. So that's really easy. You can use splicing, and that is just basically index use the index brackets and two colons and minus one. So now using that asterisk is called a separator. Usually they use it in JavaScript, but this use in Python as well. You can easily print out these values. This is done, and this was successful in the code. Ciao.